The Sukhoi Su-24 is a supersonic, all-weather attack aircraft developed in the Soviet Union. The aircraft has a variable sweep wing, twin engines and a side-by-side seating arrangement for its crew of 2. It was the first of the USSR's aircraft to carry an integrated digital navigation attack system. It remains in service with the Russian Air Force, Syrian Air Force, Ukrainian Air Force, Azerbaijan Air Force, Iraqi Air Force and various air forces to which it was exported. One of the conditions for accepting the Sukhoi Su-7B into service in 1961 was the requirement for Sukhoi to develop an all-weather variant capable of precision air strikes. Preliminary investigations with S-28 and S-32 aircraft revealed that the basic Su-7 design was too small to contain all the avionics required for the mission. OKB-794 was tasked with developing an advanced NAV attack system, codenamed Puma, which would be at the core of the new aircraft. That same year, the United States' proposal for their new all-weather strike fighter would be the TFX. The resulting F-111 would introduce a variable geometry wing for greatly increased payload, range, and low-level penetration capabilities. In 1962–1963, Sukhoi initially set out to build an aircraft without the complexity of moving wings like the F-111. It designed and built a mock-up of S-6, a delta-wing aircraft powered by 2 Tumansky R-21 turbojet engines and with a crew of 2 in a tandem arrangement. The mock-up was inspected but no further work was ordered due to lack of progress on the Puma hardware. In 1964, Sukhoi started work on S-58M. The aircraft was supposed to represent a modification of the Sukhoi Su-15 interceptor. In the meantime, revised Soviet Air Force requirements called for a low-altitude strike aircraft with stall capability. A key feature was the ability to cruise at supersonic speeds at low altitude for extended periods of time in order to traverse enemy air defenses. To achieve this, the design included 2 Tumansky R-27 afterburning turbojets for cruise and 4 Rybinsk RD-3635 turbojets for stall performance. Side-by-side seating for the crew was implemented since the large Orion radar antennas required a large frontal cross-section. To test the 6-engine scheme, the first Su-15 prototype was converted into S-58VD Flying Laboratory, which operated in 1966 to 1969. The aircraft was officially sanctioned on 24 August 1965 under the internal code name T6. The first prototype, T-61, was completed in May 1967 and flew on 2 July with Vladimir Ilyushin at the controls. The initial flights were performed without the 4 lift jets, which were installed in October 1967. At the same time, R-27s were replaced with Lyulka AL-21Fs. Stall tests confirmed the data from S-58VD that short field performance was achieved at the cost of significant loss of flight distance as the lift engines occupied space normally reserved for fuel, loss of under-fuselage hardpoints, and instability during transition from stall to conventional flight, so the 6-engine approach was abandoned. By 1967, the F-111 had entered service and demonstrated the practical advantages and solutions to the technical problems of a swing-wing design. On 7 August 1968, the OKB was officially tasked with investigating a variable geometry wing for the T-6. The resulting T-62I first flew on 17 January 1970 with Ilyushin at the controls. The subsequent government trials lasted until 1974, dictated by the complexity of the onboard systems. The day or night and all-weather capability was achieved for the first time in Soviet tactical attack aircraft, thanks to the Puma NAV attack system consisting of 2 Orion superimposed radar scanners for NAV attack, a dedicated Relief terrain clearance radar to provide automatic control of flights at low and extremely low altitudes, and an ORBITA 10-58 onboard computer. The crew was equipped with Zvezda K36D ejection seats, allowing them to bail out at any altitude and flight speed, including during takeoff and landing. The resulting design, with a range of 3,000 kilometers and payload of 8,000 kilograms, was slightly smaller and shorter ranged than the F-111. 10 fatal accidents occurred during Su-24 development, killing 13 Sukhoi and Soviet Air Force test pilots. The first production aircraft flew on 31 December 1971 with VT Vilomov at the controls. And on 4 February 1975, T-6 was formally accepted into service as the Su-24. About 1,400 Su-24s were produced. Surviving Su-24M models have gone through a life extension and updating program. With GLONASS, upgraded cockpit with multifunction displays, hood, digital moving map generator, shale helmet-mounted sights, and provision for the latest guided weapons, including R-73 air-to-air missiles. The upgraded aircraft are designated Su-24M2. The Su-24 has a shoulder-mounted variable geometry wing outboard of a relatively small fixed-wing glove, swept at 69 degrees. The wing has 4 sweep settings: 16 degrees for takeoff and landing,